Hello, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Day 4 roundup for the Australian Open 2023. Murray Magic, the Netflix curse is real, and seeds continue to fall at a rapid pace. Before we get into it, remember to that like button and do subscribe if you are new. Also, do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Let's get into it because there's a lot to dive into. And I know this one's late, but you know what? You guys would have had a lot of time to soak this in. We're going to do a quick roundup of the day's play. Then we're going to talk about and preview some of the matches starting not too long from now. And I'll give you guys my star of the day as well. And of course, when I go through the matches for a bit later, I'll highlight some of the more tasty and juicy matchups. Okay, you can see here, this is the one that everyone's been talking about. Of course, Andy Murray versus Thanasi Kokkinakis. Thank you to everyone that tuned in for our live stream commentary for it. It was an incredible stream, an incredible match. And Murray came from 2 sets to love down. He was 5-2 down in that third set. Kokkinakis was serving for the match at 5-3. Didn't manage to close it out. Murray won that tiebreaker in the third and then won 6-3, 7-5 in the fourth and fifth sets. He's now played 2 back-to-back 5-setters and 2 back-to-back 5-hour matches. What's he got left in the tank for the third round? We shall see. But I tell you, he needs to get his sleep because they finished around 4 a.m. I think it was 5 a.m. Australian time, which is just absolute nuts. What a match. I mean, commiserations to Kokkinakis as well. I mean, playing in front of the home crowd, he played some really good tennis. But Murray just inspired, and one of the greatest comebacks I've actually seen, to be honest with you, given that the position he was in, and given that what happened in the first round as well. So he marches on. Alex de Minaur beat Manarino in 4 sets. Great win for the Australian. So he is one Australian that is still in the draw. Good to see that. Djokovic beat Quad in 4 sets of bagel at the end there as well. A little hiccup with the tiebreaker loss in the second set, but look at the other 3 sets. I mean, absolutely dominant. Benjamin Bonzi, this is a big upset. He was 2 sets to love down against PCB. He's come through in 5 sets, including a final set tiebreaker 10-4. RBA, who will be Murray's next opponent, also had a 5-setter, so that will maybe help Murray. He was actually 2 sets to love down against Brandon Holt, Tracy Austin's son. He came through pretty comfortably, though, in the last 3 sets, winning in 5. Holger Rune dispatching Maxim Cressy in 3 relatively tight sets, but I have to say it's a very impressive performance from the young Danish player, and the draw has opened up big time for him, and we'll talk about that why in a second. Dimitrov beat Jabeur in 3 sets, including a bagel as well. He looks dominant. He's going to face Djokovic. I don't know if it's the next round or the round after, but he's coming. It's a pretty easy matchup for Novak, I'll be honest with you. I think Novak plays people like Dimitrov really well. I think the styles don't match up greatly, but Dimitrov's a very good player, of course, so we'll see how we go. Mo beat Zverev in 4 sets. Big upset there, the 12th seed. I know a lot of people had high hopes for him, not me. Look, I mean, he's had a long layoff, and he's the type of player that needs to be playing regularly for his game to be up to scratch. And look, I think he will get there, probably midway through this year, but he'll need some time. So good win for the American, though. And Poprin beat Fritz in 5 sets. The Netflix curse continues. Fritz falling, and he had, not just he had, but tennis fans generally had very high hopes for him to go pretty deep. That's not going to be the case. Burr beat Kudla in 4 sets. Great win for the French player, and especially given he had a horrific 2022, he's now won back-to-back matches at the Australian Open on hard court. That's great to see. A lot of people thought he might only be good on grass. He's proving people wrong at the moment, so hopefully he can continue his good form. He's a young player still, and hopefully he shows a bit more of what he's about. JJ Wolf beat Schwartzman in 3 sets. I did predict that. It's a really good win. Diego Schwartzman, obviously a seed at 23, but yeah, he is obviously getting on a little bit as well, and I don't think the balls maybe help his case. Everyone talking about how the balls are very, very flat almost, as in there's barely any air in them, and it doesn't feel like it, and the rallies have been super long. It just makes the matches slower. The courts are relatively quick, but the balls are just like crazy bad, apparently. So I don't know whether they need to go through more balls in a match, or, I mean, it's too late now to change the balls. So it's interesting to see what they do about it, but I don't know if there is anything they can do. Ben Shelton beat Jarry in straight sets. Great win for him. I did predict that as well. And the young American is marching on. It'll be really interesting to see how far he can go. Rublev beat Ruusuvuori in 4 sets. Great win for Rublev. Ruusuvuori, very exciting young talent. Brooks beat Casper Ruud. That is another massive upset. Casper Ruud, the number 2 seed. It's the first time the top 2 seeds have fallen in the second round since the 2002 Australian Open. So that's in a Grand Slam. It's happened for the first time since the 2002 Australian Open that the first 2 seeds have fallen in the second round, or by the second round even. Tommy Paul with a great win over Djokovic Fokina in 5 sets. I did predict that as well. It's a good win. And Dan Evans beat Shardy in straights, and he's marching on the Brit. Okay, let's go on to the women's quickly, and then we will do our matches for later. So you can see here, this is the big ups. And again, this is when we talk about the Netflix curse, right? Vondrousova being Ons Jabeur in 3 sets and 2 breadsticks there as well. But Ons Jabeur had some strapping. She hasn't looked particularly good. It's a massive, massive shame. I mean, it would have been good to have a fully fit and fully focused Ons Jabeur coming into this. Just didn't quite seem the case. Bencic beat Liu in straight sets, and Gracheva beat Stefanini in straights. Caroline Garcia, really tough battle against Leila Fernandez. A 7-5 tiebreaker in the first set, and then 7-5 win in the second set. Look, I mean, Fernandez should be happy with her performance as a battling one. Caroline Garcia is a big, big player, and I wouldn't be surprised if she picks up a Grand Slam this year. Zhang beat Martic in straight sets, and Paris Diaz beat Potapova in straights. Fruhvirtova is that's good. She's come through against Birel in straight. She's marching on. Pliskova beat Potenseva in straight sets. Good win. I didn't see that coming, to be fair. A bagel as well. I just thought Pliskova might get upset, but she's looking in decent form then. Vekic beat Samsonova another seed and bageled her as well to boot. Seidman beat Begu in 3, another seed bites the dust. Georgie beat Schmidlova in straights, and Linette beat Kontaveit in straights, so that's another seed. Wow. Mertens beat Davis in straight sets, and Volynets beat Kudermetova. That's another seed as well, number 9 seed. I mean, the seeds are just falling left, right, and center. Townsend lost to Alexandrova. I did pick Townsend. She won the first at 6-1, but just fell away. Good win for the 19th seed. And Sabalenka beat Rogers in straight sets. Really good win, 6-3, 6-1. She is looking, in my opinion, like the woman to beat on the WTA side. Okay, in terms of the matches, then later on, I mean, technically tomorrow, but really not too long from now. Fucsovic, Sinner, I'm going to go Sinner to win that one in maybe 4. Tsitsipas, Grykspor, Tsitsipas to win in straights. I think McDonald to beat Nishioka. I think that's got 5 sets written all over it. I'm going to go Nishioka to win in 5. Felix Cerundolo, that's got 4 or 5 on it. I'm going to say 4 sets, but FA to come through just. Norrie to beat Lehecka in 4. I've got Shapovalov, Hurkacz has got 5 sets as well. I'm going to go Hurkacz. I just don't think the style matches up nicely for Shapovalov, and the head-to-head says the same. Khachanov, TFO. I'm going to go with TFO. Again, that could be a long one. And Korda Medvedev. Now, this is potentially a banana skin for Medvedev. Korda's been playing some really good tennis recently, making the final of Adelaide International 2. Had a match point, didn't he? Against Djokovic. It was definitely close anyway. Can he cause the upset with his type of game? I think Medvedev might be a bit too awkward for him. We'll see. I think Medvedev to win that one in 4. Krejcikova to beat Kalinina. I've got Pegula, Kostyuk. That's a tough one. I'm going to go Pegula to beat Kostyuk, though. I'm going to go Ostapenko to beat Kozlova. Rybakina to beat Collins. Swiatek to beat Buxer. We should be covering that one live, so do tune in. Goff to beat Pera. Keys Azarenka. That is a barnstormer. What a match that is. I'm going to go Keys in 3 very tight sets. Sakari to beat Zhu. Right, in terms of my player of the day, there's quite a few notable players of the day, to be honest. Vondrousova's one. Caroline Garcia's one. You can talk about Vekic, potentially. You can talk about Volynets being Kudermetova. You can talk about Sabalenka with a clinical performance. From the men's side, we're talking, we have to talk about Murray, of course. You can talk about Benjamin Bonzi beating PCB. That's a great win. Mo beating Zverev. Fantastic win. Popperin beating Fritz. There's a lot of good wins. Brooksby beating Casper Ruud. I know Casper Ruud didn't play particularly well. That's still a fantastic win. I think we're going to have to go with Andy Murray, my compatriot. The way that he came out from 2 sets to love down, 5-2 down in that third set as well. Came out to win in 5 hours. What a win for him. and he marches on. And I'm really looking forward to the rest of the Australian Open. There's a lot of seeds falling, but it's exciting, and just hoping that they can sort out the balls. I'm not sure how they'll do that, but we'll see. Anyways, remember to that like button, do subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.